Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're taking ancient history, ripping it right out of the textbook and dropping it straight into your classroom. If you're an educator looking for that real soup to nuts guide to transforming your room into a living, breathing ancient Greek city-state, well, you've hit the jackpot. We're going to be exploring this incredible, comprehensive 6-week thematic unit called the Agora Immersive. Let's get right into it. Now, think about it for a second. How do you actually make ancient history unforgettable for your students? I mean, how do we move beyond the dry facts, the passive dates, and those endless stacks of worksheets to create an epic journey, one they'll be talking about for the rest of their lives? Because what we really want is deep, authentic engagement, not just rote memorization. Okay, let's dive into this. On one hand, you have the old way, right? Memorizing textbook chapters, bubbling in multiple choice questions. But then you have the Agora way. We are talking full-on project-based immersion. Imagine your students building scale temples using the golden ratio. Imagine them debating Socrates wearing togas they crafted themselves. And yes, literally eating freshly made baklava. It is a complete game changer.
Here is how we're going to break this down. 1. The classroom time machine. 2. Breathing life into mythology. 3. Crafting the ancient world. 4. Tasting Greek history. 5. The examined life. And finally, 6. The great festival day.
All right, Section 1, the classroom time machine, 6 weeks of immersive cross-curricular learning. Now, this is where you get to be the ultimate architect of the experience. You are setting the stage for an absolutely incredible month and a half of discovery. Over 30 days, you're going to move logically from geographic foundations in week 1, straight up to Mount Olympus in week 2, and then right into the rigorous world of warriors and philosophy in week 3. By week 4, your kids are applying actual science and math to build architecture. Week 5, that's all about drama and the Olympics, which leads us perfectly into week 6, exploring the lasting legacy and wrapping it all up with the great festival. It's perfectly paced. Section 2, breathing life into mythology, analyzing the big ideas behind the stories. See, we aren't just reading entertaining campfire tales here. We're actively investigating what the ancient Greeks truly valued, what absolutely terrified them, and exactly how they explained their universe. We hit this with real academic rigor through 4 core myths. When we teach Prometheus stealing fire, we aren't just talking about some titan. We're debating the real-world ethics of defying authority and the double-edged sword of technology. With Persephone's pomegranate seeds, we're exploring the profound power of grief right alongside the actual science of the seasons. Odysseus blinding the Cyclops, that teaches wit over brute strength and the severe danger of hubris. And Pandora's jar, which, by the way, was a jar, not a box, totally a mistranslation, prompts students to discuss the heavy consequences of curiosity, but also the incredible endurance of hope. Moving on to Section 3, crafting the ancient world. Hands-on, project-based learning. This is where the tactile magic of the curriculum really comes alive. It's time to put down those pencils and pick up the paint, the foam, the fabric. And I know, it sounds like a massive undertaking, but it's actually broken down into super manageable steps. Take the Hoplite Shield project, for example. You just grab an 18 to 24-inch cardboard circle, apply a quick base coat of silver or gold spray paint, and then the kids design their own 3D relief symbols using craft foam. You know, maybe an owl for Athens or a terrifying Gorgon face. Slap on a leather look grip, and boom, suddenly you've got heavily armored hoplites in your classroom. It's literally that easy to pull off. And honestly, the shield is just the tip of the iceberg. Students are going to drape their own togas from scratch. They're crafting a siphos, which is a Greek short sword, totally safely out of pool noodles and duct tape. They paint these beautiful, authentic black figure pottery silhouettes, write original myths on tea-stained scroll parchment, build massive foam Greek theater masks, and even engineer mini temple models using the mathematical golden ratio. These hands-on builds prove to your students that history isn't just something you read about, it is something you make. It's something you wear. Section 4, Tasting Greek History, Culinary Immersion in the Classroom. We all know that sensory memory, especially when it comes to smell and taste, is incredibly powerful for retention. So we are bringing the ancient kitchen right into your classroom. But before we cook, we learn the foundations. We start with the Mediterranean triad. These 3 crops, wheat, olives, and grapes, they were the literal lifeblood of Hellenic civilization. Understanding this triad perfectly frames how we introduce authentic food to the kids.
And then this triad actually comes to life through an authentic menu. We're talking creamy tzatziki dip, hearty fasolada bean soup, these amazing honey walnut festival cookies called mellow macarona, and sweet layered baklava. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. Cooking in a classroom? No way. But don't worry. All of these authentic recipes are specifically adapted so they can be safely and easily prepared right at their desks. All you need is a hot plate, an electric skillet, or a toaster oven. That's the whole shebang.
Okay, Section 5, the examined life, philosophy, dialogues, and seminars. So we've built the shields, we've eaten the food, now we move into the intellectual core of the unit, where your students tackle some seriously complex Socratic debates. The unexamined life is not worth living. This absolutely powerful quote from Socrates sets the entire stage for week 3. We use this to teach kids how to really question the world around them, to wonder, and to realize that asking the right question is often way more important than just having the right answer. To pull this off, we introduce the Socratic method. Now notice the word cooperative here. That's absolutely key. The goal of these classroom seminars isn't for one kid to just win an argument or shout everyone else down. The actual goal is to find truth together through honest, rigorous, back-and-forth inquiry. It's a cooperative journey. And listen, we do not hold back on the rigor here. Get this. This is the actual seminar prompt your students will be discussing. Socrates was sentenced to death by hemlock. His friends arranged his escape. Was Socrates right to stay and accept death? Putting this prompt in front of them demonstrates the incredible intellectual depth and maturity this unit asks of middle grade students. They literally have to weigh civic duty against personal conscience. It's heavy stuff, but they rise to the occasion. We also dive straight into Plato's allegory of the cave. We contrast the shadows, which are our limited everyday assumptions, with the sun, the absolute highest truth accessible only through reason. And we make this super accessible to the kids by having them act it out with shadow puppets. Then we ask them to identify the cave walls in their own modern lives. Like, what assumptions do they hold today that might just be shadows? It really blows their minds. Section 6, the Great Festival Day, the culminating Panathenaia. Let's see how all of this builds to the ultimate payoff of the entire 6 weeks, a full day, completely student-run celebration of everything they've learned. 50. Every single student starts the festival morning with exactly 50 paper drachmas. This single detail kickstarts a fully functional classroom economy for the entire day. Your students aren't just presenting passive projects, they are buying, selling, and interacting as actual ancient citizens. Out in the marketplace, it is buzzing. The Pottery Workshop is selling their black figure art. The Oracle of Delphi is charging a fee to answer questions in cryptic riddles. Scribes are over there writing visitors' names in the Greek alphabet. At the Philosopher's Corner, a student, Socrates, is questioning literally any guest who walks by. These specific stalls force your students to apply math for making change, economics for pricing their goods, public speaking, and deep historical knowledge, all at exactly the same time. When the festival finally ends, the reflection journals are closed, and the laurel wreaths are handed out. The gods are truly pleased. But why does this all matter? Because this immersive structure builds a profound emotional connection to learning. When students don't just learn history, but actually live it out loud, it creates a level of retention that standard textbooks simply cannot ever match. Not in a million years. So I want to leave you with this final crucial thought. What will your students remember forever when you actually give them the tools to build the ancient world themselves? The Agora Immersive isn't just about ticking boxes and covering standards. It is about making memories that will echo for a lifetime. Take the leap, transform your teaching, and watch your classroom become absolutely legendary.